Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the processional.
Please be seated. Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Steve Wilkinson. I'm the program director for the DBT program. We're going to start off today with having some remarks from our dean, Dr. Jeff Lau. And by the way, he's also a faculty member of the DBT program. And then he'll be followed up with the class president, Jason Wynn. We'll follow to that point.
Thank you, Dr. Wilkinson. Well, good morning, everybody. It's so great to be here with you all today. I guess it's afternoon, right? On behalf of the College of Rehabilitation Sciences, I wanted to extend a warm welcome to our university leadership, our faculty and staff, family and friends, and most importantly of all today, our awesome Doctor of Physical Therapy class of 2025. Isn't this exciting? Can you believe it? Can you believe you're here? As I said, my name's Jeff Lau. I'm the dean of the college, and it's an honor and a privilege to stand with you today and to be able to celebrate really a milestone in their career development. Today, as you know, marks a pretty important transition, a close to one chapter and the beginning of another that is really filled with promise. For our graduates, this day represents years of disciplined study, clinical training, and unwavering perseverance. You've faced challenges, embraced growth, and emerged as doctors of physical therapy. Can you believe it? No small achievement. I'm sure you'll hear about how rigorous and challenging the curriculum is. I, as Dr. Wilkinson mentioned, was privileged to be able to teach them a little bit about evidence-based practice and research and all of that. And it has been quite a journey for them. Do you remember the long nights? the constructive feedback you received along the way from your fellow classmates, from your faculty, maybe even from your clinical instructors or patients. But you didn't just learn techniques, you didn't just learn protocols, you learned really the very essence of the profession of physical therapy, how to listen deeply, how to advocate fiercely, and to care about your patients with empathy, skill, and integrity. This is what elevates this class, and your patients, your future patients, are fortunate indeed to be able to have you in their lives. This celebration isn't only about what you've already done, it's about what you are now prepared to do. The evidence suggests that whether you end up in a hospital, whether your path takes you into an outpatient clinic, a research facility, whether you become a faculty member and end up in the classroom, entrepreneurial adventures. I've heard of somebody that's starting their own practice, which is awesome. Or even in a role that doesn't even exist yet, your work will matter. It will matter to you, to your family, and to the world. Don't forget that. You're entering a profession that urgently needs not only competent practitioners, but people who are compassionate professionals who see the whole person and make a difference, one life at a time. And again, the evidence suggests we know that you are ready to do this. I also want to acknowledge all of those who've helped you along the way, your faculty, those who challenged you, supported you, kept pushing you to reach the limits of what you believed you may or may not have been able to do. Your classmates who walked this journey with you, your family and friends who believed in you and supported you, and your patients who trusted you enough to let you experiment on them and get better and practice, right? The practice and the art of physical therapy. All of them had a part in shaping who you have become, doctors of physical therapy. So take this moment to celebrate, breathe it in, stand a little taller, enjoy the success, because you're still on the road. Feel the weight of now the responsibility you will have as doctors of physical therapy and professionals who potentially have the lives of people in your hands. This road leads forward, and you will need curiosity, resilience, and courage, the same kind of drive that got you through years of training. And that will continue to show your success in your future. But that same road will help give you purpose and opportunities to change countless lives. So anyway, to the Doctor of Physical Therapy class of 2025, congratulations. We're all proud of you, inspired by you, and we're eager to see the difference you're going to make, maybe in local communities, but throughout the world. So again, thank you, welcome to everybody, and congratulations.
Howdy, everyone. Man, we look good out there, huh? First and foremost, I wanted to thank all the friends and family that came out to support us today. And not just today, but throughout this entire journey. We seriously would not be here without you guys, so thank you for everything that you guys do. I also wanted to thank all of the faculty here with us today for helping us get through to where we are now and preparing us for what's to come into the future. So thank you guys for everything that you've done as well. We really appreciate it. When I think back to the beginning of this journey, I remember a room full of strangers who became the people I studied with, cried with, laughed with, and collectively questioned life choices with. We walked in on day one, pretty bright-eyed and wildly unaware of the academic suffering that was awaiting us. But somehow, with every challenge we had, I felt a little bit lighter because we were able to go through it together. So my fellow peers, thank you guys. Thank you for the group chats that started with real questions and ended with memes. Thank you for the constant encouragement, the shared snacks, the shared panic, and the shared determination. We didn't just survive this program, we survived it together, which honestly might be the greatest accomplishment of all. I also wanted to say congratulations to all of us that have already taken the boards exam. I know how hard it was, and all the blood, sweat, and tears that went into studying for it. So congratulations again. I hope to be joining you guys soon. Today is one of those surreal moments, right, where we think, wow, we finally made it. And how lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard? As PT students, we didn't exactly choose the scenic route. We chose a route with practical exams and that tested not only our knowledge, but our emotional stability. Research assignments that introduced us to a new level of exhaustion and clinical rotations that necessarily didn't have our hands held anymore. Because if there's one thing that we learned over the years, it's that hard work isn't always glamorous. Sometimes it looks like showing up to an 8 a.m. lab after studying all night. Sometimes it's rewriting the same soap note 3 times over to get it perfect. And then sometimes it's being corrected by your CI in the most kindest, humblest way possible. And for me, it was a lot more times than I'd like. Hard work is often uncomfortable and unflattering, and most of the time isn't what's posted on social media. It's also what brought us here, though. And right alongside it, right in the passenger seat, sometimes taking the wheel was failure. We don't always talk about failure at ceremonies like this, but maybe we should. Failure taught us things success never could. It taught us how to rethink, how to adapt, how to keep going, even when our confidence was somewhere on the clinic floor next to the TheraBands. We learned that growth doesn't always happen when things are going well. It happens when we're staring at feedback, just thinking, did I actually do anything right? Failure helped show us where our limits were, and not to shame us, but to help us grow past them. It reminded us that competence doesn't come from avoiding mistakes, but from learning how to correct them. And honestly, if we can get through the moment where our patient almost had a fall and we forgot every step of the fall risk protocol, then we're practically unstoppable. But now we're stepping into a new phase, one where our mistakes won't be graded, they'll be real, where our decisions won't just impact rubrics, they'll impact lives. And I think the real challenge and the real joy will be in moving forward with everything that we've learned. And moving forward means being willing to ask for help. It means being willing to start over and when things don't go the way we planned. It means recognizing that everything we know won't be on day one, and that's okay. We didn't come this far to pretend we're perfect. We came this far to be helpful, compassionate, and most of all, be human. So as we walk across the stage today, I hope we remember that success isn't a destination. It's a practice. It's a choice. It's the daily decision to show up, to serve others, and to keep going, even when life hands us moments that feel suspiciously like our neuropracticals. We built the resilience we need, we built the grit we need, and thanks to each other, the study groups, the coffee runs, the shared meltdowns, we've built the community we need. Before I end, I wanted to share something that I live by, and that is, you never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. So cherish all the moments in your life, and thank you guys for being in this moment with me. So congratulations to us, the new doctors of physical therapy. Let's move forward with the confidence that even if we stumble, at least we know how to treat it. Thank you.
Jason, thank you. I wrote down academic suffering. I'm going to use that if that's okay. Right now we get a chance to present some awards. And this is we feel lucky that we get to have this time to do this during your graduation. But it's a challenge for us because there are fewer awards than those that deserve them. But I hope everybody realizes that even if you didn't get an award, you've shown lots of reasons to receive awards, and that academic suffering is part of that. And with that said, we'll start with some awards. And I think Dr. Timpson, she's coming up. Each faculty member that are presenting can introduce themselves and then present the awards.
My name is Misty Timpson, and I have the amazing privilege of offering or providing the Top Scholar Award. That is a very prestigious award honored to students who graduated our very rigorous program with a perfect 4.0 GPA. So Curtis Lundberg and Hannah White, will you please make your way forward? The American Physical Therapy Association established this award, the National Physical Therapy Student Honor Society, in 2018 to recognize graduating Doctor of Physical Therapist students who demonstrate both excellence, integrity, and professionalism in the areas of academic achievement, leadership, and service or research. Additionally, these students demonstrate strong moral character, ethics, and they personify the core values of the physical therapy profession.
Hello, I'm Dr. Sykes, and I get to present a few awards here in the next little bit. And you two don't get too comfortable here for a second. You're going to be coming right back up here. But the next award, well, it's actually the National Physical Therapy Student Honor Society that she was just writing. And there are certain students that are able to qualify for that. And in the DPT 20s, we actually had 5 students qualify for that, and we're going to ask those 5 students to come back up. Those students are Kashti Ashton, Emily Flake, Perry Freeman, Curtis Lundberg again, and Hannah White again. So come on up. All right, so it's my privilege to be one of the directors of clinical education, and my main job is to help these students find clinical education experiences out in the world to try and learn or at least practice some of the skills that they've learned in school, and also learn a heck of a lot more skills along the way. And we have an award that's called the Clinical Excellence Award, and the Clinical Excellence Award is presented to that student who has who's been outstanding throughout the clinical education piece. They provided compassionate and altruistic care, carefully balancing the patient's needs with evidence-based practice, their strong sense of duty and integrity, representing themselves, the clinic, RMU, as well as the profession. And myself and my team have the opportunity to give these students calls during their clinical education. And it's really great to hear their clinical instructors brag about them and glow with all of these wonderful opportunities. And then a lot of them, they offer these kids, you're not kids anymore, these students jobs and stuff for when they graduate. And we have 2 awards. We have a male award and a female award when it comes to the Clinical Excellence Award. The male award goes to Kyler Edwards. And the female award goes to Ashley Waddell. So it was amazing to hear some of these fun things, and it's really great to see the RMU students out there really putting it to some of these other big name schools, and to hear how much clinic ready they are compared to a lot of our maybe competition out there. So thank you guys for showing RMU, or a good face for RMU out there, and I have this really cool glass award for you. Yes, it's still my turn. All right. So the next award that I get to give is called the Outstanding Clinical Instructor Award. And if you guys go to the middle of your program, right where the staples come out, it's the easiest way to do it, is the featured biography of our Clinical Excellence Award winner, Dr. Robin Cecil. So luckily we have Robin Cecil here today, and so we'd actually invite her to come up and stand up here with us, if you don't mind. And then while she's coming up, I'm just going to read a little bit about her. But Dr. Robin L. Cecil is a board-certified sports clinical specialist and the founder of the Director of Sports Ready Academy in Sandy, Utah. She has 30 years of experience in physical therapy and in sports medicine. She is dedicated to advancing athlete care and performance and safe return to sport practices. She's also an alumni of RMU, which is pretty cool. The transitional program, right? Come on up.
He told me I had to stay on the X, and I'm not going to.
I wouldn't want you to.
Okay.
If you don't want to, I don't want you to.
So finish up, and then I'll
Oh,
say
there you go. Fair enough. As you can tell, she's very passionate about mentoring future clinicians. Dr. Cecil is honored to be recognized as the Clinical Instructor of the Year, but I'm also going to surprise you for a second here. Dr. Katie Thomas. Does that sound good?
Harris.
Karis.
Katie
I'm
Harris.
so
I can help you
sorry.
with
The email says Thomas still, so give me I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Dr.
She
Katie
took it.
Harris, I'm going to have her come up and read the nomination for you. So come on up, Katie.
I would stand by her side anytime. She's great.
First of all, I don't have my glasses, so if I mispronounce a couple things, it's my own fault. Dr. Robin Cecil, she was my most recent clinical instructor, and I just have to tell you, she was amazing. Let me go ahead and read. She is truly amazing. She goes above and beyond for her athletes, communicating with her team of MDs and DOs to get athletes treated sooner and with the best possible care. She even attended multiple doctor's appointments with one of the student athletes to directly communicate with the doctor to find out what was going on, as our athlete didn't have an adult to accompany her to the appointment. So a lot of our athletes were student athletes in the high school setting, and they didn't have the resources available. They were kind of lower income. She's also a very great CI, very easy to get along with, and has reasonable expectations of me as a student. Rather than getting frustrated with me when it takes me longer to understand a difficult topic, such as SI joint, she calmly explains and demonstrates the concepts to me. She is genuine, kind, and looks out for the athletes and students as if they were her own kids at times making sure their grades are high enough to stay on the sports teams. While this is outside the scope of PT, it shows what kind of person she is and how deeply she cares for each and every one of her athletes. And I was very lucky to be her student. So thank you so much.
So I just have to say, with all those words, by the end of the 2 months, they all came in and asked for Katie. They didn't ask for me anymore. They knew her heart, and they knew that she cared deeply about her, about each one of them, and that matters a lot. Good luck. Thank you.
I am Krista Young, and I have the pleasure of presenting the Leadership Award. In an attempt to be evidence-based, I looked up the definition of leadership earlier this week, and Dr. Google told me that it is the ability to guide, influence, and motivate a group of people toward achieving a common goal. Google also said it requires a combination of skills and behaviors, such as making decisions, fostering collaboration, communicating effectively, and inspiring a team. The doctor was clear that leadership can be exhibited with or without a title, and that it is a social process that can produce results that could not be achieved alone. I like that last part. So I'm going to ask the nominees to stand where they are, and we're going to hold our applause until they're all standing, and then I will announce who actually gets to receive this award. So, Emily Flake, Kenneth Higgins, Jason Nguyen, Will Stasinas, and Bing Young. Each of you have, in overt or quiet ways, influenced, inspired, and helped others become their best selves, building skills and achieving goals along the way. You have led by word and example, and you have helped create a cohesive, well-functioning group. Bravo, and thank you. We do, however, only have one of these awards to give out, and that goes to Kenneth Higgins.
Hello, I'm Mike Bartholomew. That's a mouthful, so the students call me Dr. B. I have the privilege of presenting the Faculty Recognition Award. This is kind of our All-Star MVP award, if you will. It recognizes a student who is exemplary in the pursuit of knowledge, the development of skill, a person who seeks and accepts feedback with humility, which is tough sometimes. Students, they embodies professionalism, hard work. They're often helpful to their peers, they're timely with their work, and they're punctual to class. They are a team player, and they seek the good of those around them. And this award really speaks to how awesome Cohort 20 is. Most of the time, we might have 2 or 3 nominees. They have 7, and then looking out, I could add another half dozen pretty easily to that. So with that being said, again, I'll have the nominees stand, and sadly, we only have 1 award. But the nominees are Jack Bonnewell, Connor Dunaway, Emily Flake, Perry Freeman, Kenneth Higgins, Curtis Lundberg, and Stephen Powers. And all of them are extremely deserving of this award, but again, sadly, we only have one. And the winner of this award is Emily Flake.
If you've forgotten, I'm Steve Wilkinson. I'm lucky enough to hand out the award of professional engagement. And this award recognizes a student who is exemplary in their professional engagement, including getting involved nationally or locally with the American Physical Therapy Association, participating in research and or in service rendered. The nominees for this award is Emily Flake. Please rise, thank you. Perry Freeman. You guys are getting some good squats in today. Kenneth Higgins, Lizzie Pikert, and Bing Young. And the winner is all of you. Come on up.
Hello, everybody. I'm Tyler Luschek, and I have the privilege of being able to introduce and read a little bit about the Lifting Others Award. The Lifting Others Award recognizes a student who, by their character, personality, and the little things that they do, lift those around them. This is an interesting award, or not an interesting award, but it's a great award in the sense that you students actually got to nominate each other, or your colleagues, or your peers, right, in your cohort for this. The students that were nominated, and if you could please rise, include Emily Flake, Perry Freeman, TJ Guerrero, Kenneth Higgins, Chase Jones, Aiden Pierce, Stephen Powers, Will Stasinis, oh my gosh. I'm so sorry. Katrin Baldoria, and Bing Young. Give them a round of applause. Some of the quotes from the students for this award, the winner of this award, I should say, include the following. This person takes time to help those who may be struggling with course material. He is willing to sit down and walk them through the material. He not only lifts up others through academics, but he is there as emotional support when PT school gets overwhelming. This person is the friendliest person in our cohort. Everybody loves him, and he always has a positive attitude. And the last one that I'll share says, they are always organizing volleyball for the cohort and going out of their way to check on us and be friendly. The Lifting Others Award is given to TJ Guerrero.
we now start the hooding portion of the ceremony. And hooding dates back to the 12th and 13th centuries and signifies special recognition of master's and doctoral degree candidates. Faculty members, and in this case, the student's faculty advisor, will place the hood over the heads of the graduates, recognizing their success in completing the program and symbolically welcoming them as fellow scholars.
Now presenting the candidates for the Doctor of Physical Therapy degree, Dr. Jacob Brockert. Dr. Kenneth Higgins. Dr. Francesca Isip. Dr. Andrew Bestenlaner. Dr. Matthew Rios. Dr. Katie Workema. Dr. Benjamin Bodley. Dr. Katie Harris. Dr. Ethan Tull. Dr. Stephen Powers. Dr. William Stasinis. Dr. Perry A. Freeman. Dr. Rick B. Porter. Dr. Kyler Edwards. Dr. Vanessa Rabos. Dr. Allison Whiting. Dr. Jack Bonnewell. Dr. Robert Millward. Dr. Aiden Pierce. Dr. Jared Arsvold. Dr. Katrin Faith Jacoby Valdoria. Dr. Christian Velosi. Dr. Lainey McKinley. Dr. Jason Wynn. Dr. Chase Jones. Dr. Brianna Marie Lawson. Dr. Trisha Roween Lim. Dr. Emily Jane Flake. Dr. Lizzie Pikert. Dr. Cooper Smith. Dr. Brooke Pauline France. Dr. Hannah White. Dr. Alyssa Grindy. Dr. Curtis Lundberg. Dr. Franco Noel Aguero. Dr. PJ Goff. Dr. Emma Seitz. Dr. Bing Young. Dr. William Horner. Dr. Jackson Mills. Dr. Tyler Earl Shumway. Dr. Cassidy Rianne Ashton. Dr. Timothy John T.J. Fortune Guerrero. Dr. Brandon Olson. Dr. Connor Kent Dunaway. Dr. Isaiah Hernandez. Dr. Ashley Waddell.
That was a little bit awkward for me. The handshake to the hug to the, anyway, congratulations. You got me? We're now honored to have the president of the university, Dr. Cameron Martin, provide some remarks.
Thank you, Dr. Wilkinson. Congratulations, DPT 20, class of 2025. Woohoo! Now, I know it's been noted that you were to thank your family, friends, and faculty, but I didn't hear that. So I would love for you to stand, turn to your family, and let them hear and feel of your love and appreciation. Let us do it. That's great. That's great. Now, stay standing. Get the quad workout. Now, right behind me are a group of individuals who put years of blood, sweat, and tears to cause you blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point. Will you let your faculty hear your appreciation and feel it too? Thank you. Thank you. Now, help me out with one more. There's a lot of people behind the scenes who are making this work. The registrar's office, our event staff, and communications team. Will you, ladies and gentlemen, join your graduates in thanking them, those who are behind the scenes. Thank you. Go ahead, be seated. You know, this is a time of year of reflection, and I'm reflecting at this particular time in a somewhat unique way. Next month will mark 12 years. 12 years from when I was down in my basement on my treadmill trying to get in shape. I'd been walking for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. I thought last 5 minutes, I'm an old soccer guy. I'm going to put this to a jog. And I had 10-pound weights in my hand, and I was feeling it. In fact, I was feeling it, and I was singing it. Gonna Fly Now. You know what that song is, Rocky? Bum, 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 bum. And I was feeling it, and I was working it, and I remember at 4 minutes, 30 seconds, it's 30 seconds to go in my 5-minute jog. My world changed forever. And I remember that because I thrust my head down and saw the time on the treadmill. What occurred was a spontaneous, exertional, subarachnoid brain hemorrhage that put me in the ICU for a month. Now, as I was on the intake, my neighbor was actually the neuro doc, saying, "What were you doing?" Well, I was on the treadmill trying to get in shape. He paused and he said, "Cam, round is a shape. Embrace it." If I didn't have this gown on, you would know I've taken my doctor's orders to heart. I'm still round. But what ensued after that was a relationship with a gentleman with whom I will never forget. My physical therapist, Devin. Devin saw me. He met me where I was, and he listened to what I had to say. He was an amazing caregiver, also a little tricky. There was one day he said, "Do you feel like you could do a full lap around the nurses' station?" I'm like, "No." He goes, "But how about we just then go halfway?" I said, "I blew a brain gasket, but I can still do math. That's still a full lap. So how about we just go a quarter and back?" Which we did. So I know your tricks. But truly, Devin's care for me and for my family was priceless. It was a very painful time. Smells hurt, right? I was in a dark room for a month, no stimulation. In fact, sitting up here in these bright lights, I kept moving my head to the speaker to get the bright lights out of my eyes. So I still have some residual issues, so if you let me know if I start drooling. But nonetheless, I will say that Devin has forever etched his name in my heart. Now, he may not have billboards or shows or whatever else to make him famous, but that doesn't matter. He's a hero in my book, which is why you're into this profession, to be the heroes of those with whom you'll serve. And I commend you for that. That is the why, if you will, of why you put yourself through this, what was it, academic hazing? No. Suffering, same thing. You endured this so you would have the privilege of meeting people like me who need your skills, your expertise, and your confidence because of that academic experience that you've endured. So bless you for that. Now, here at Rocky Mountain University, our mission is pretty straightforward. It is to educate and advance healthcare professionals to improve the human condition. That is our why. And you are now brand ambassadors to carry that forward. But I also know that as you go through this journey, you're going to have some ups and downs and some days where you're thinking, wow, is it worth it? I'm going to tell you it is, because your craft, your skill is needed by those of us who unknowingly will need to meet you one day. And I know Dr. Lau talked about evidence-based research, and he's taught you, and you've learned well about the importance of that. There's a recent book called The Wonder Drug. It is a book about evidence-based research, and I'll give you the Cliff Notes version of why this book is profound. Based upon research, and it's written by two doctors out back in New Jersey, Stephen Terziak and Anthony Mazzarelli. The Cliff Note takeaway of the book is, if you have high burnout, you have low compassion. But if you have high compassion, you have low burnout. So that caring, that loving element of what you've learned here as part of the ethos of this institution is critical. Now, you've given out the Lifting Others Award. Where's our recipient? Congratulations. There you are. You brought an entourage, I tell you what. I heard that group. But you all are lifting others, physically, emotionally, and in other ways. So how do we improve the human condition here at RMU? It is by loving and lifting those in need. It's putting the compassion into your care. And to love someone is to see them for who they are, meet them where they are, and to listen to what they say. This is what you've gone to school to do and become, but this is also who you are at your heart, because that's why you're in the profession you've chosen, to love and lift those around you. Devin loved me, and he lifted me as I regained some of my mobility challenges, or worked through my mobility challenges. So thank you for the future patients. Allow me to just be so brave to say, on behalf of them, thank you. You will make a difference in their lives. Now, I wish you all the best and congratulations to you for this momentous occasion. Celebrate, have fun, enjoy this moment, and then use it to propel you forward to continue the good work of loving and lifting those in need, and thereby improving their condition, the human condition, one patient at a time. Thank you.
RMU graduates, you did it. Your long nights, your hard work, and your fierce dedication have led you to this remarkable achievement. It is with great pleasure that I officially welcome you to the next phase of your life as you become the newest members of the Rocky Mountain University of Health Professions Alumni Association. We invite you to get involved, be informed, and stay connected with this great university. And know that you are surrounded by a large alumni community who can support you. Congratulations, graduate. We cannot wait to see you wherever your journey takes you next.
I almost broke yesterday with these guys, and Dr. Scoob back there's probably placing bets on the time the tears start flowing. Yeah, I thought so. We had such a wonderful day yesterday. These students showed their stuff, and here it comes. Scoob, you on the money? There you go. Somebody's made a big cash windfall. But to watch these students come in to the program, Jason was talking about, you know, they sit in this room and you don't know what's going to happen, and they have a look of a deer in the headlights. Some do. But yesterday, we saw confidence. And, you know, all that academic suffering turns into academic pleasure. You should be very proud of yourselves. So, this morning I was in the clinic, and I walked by the rebounder that sometimes gets used, sometimes not. So if you're not familiar with the rebounder, it's essentially a little miniature trampoline that we have patients throw a ball at, and then the ball comes back, and we use it for a lot of different stuff, mostly balance. But I was thinking as I walked past that, you know, the harder you throw the ball, the harder it comes back. And I wanted to share a few memories that I have with the DPT 20s that not only demonstrates the people they are, but can act as a lesson for your future. And I was trying to come up with some ideas, and these were the three things that, amongst many. So this is a group that introduced me to Rainbow Kitten Surprise. Anybody? Yeah, I got a couple people. Yeah, way to go, thank you. I was like you, I had never heard of Rainbow Kitten Surprise. And quite frankly, it's a group that's not for everybody. Although the name might imply it is for everybody. But I was introduced to this group, and I immediately put it on in my car, thinking that I'd go home to my 14-year-old twins and get some, like, "you're cool, Dad" points. I didn't. I heard them in the back of my car laughing. I'm like, "What's so funny?" They're like, "What are you listening to, Dad? Rainbow Kitten Surprise." And I thought, oh, that kind of stinks. Thought it gets points. So I said, well, they said, who told you about Rainbow Kitten Surprise? I said, one of my students. And guess what? I got some cool points. It wasn't about the group. It was about that my kids thought it was cool that the students shared something with me. So lesson 1, keep sharing. Sharing not only has an element of being vulnerable, but it builds relationships, gives you something in common with somebody else. Memory number 2. Oh no, now my nose is starting to run. It's a hard life I have, I will tell you. Do I hug? Do I handshake? Do I let my nose run? Do I cry? Lesson number 2, memory number 2. I have some running buddies within the DPT 20s. Okay, I gotta fess up. I went running once with the DPT 20s. But what was cool about this is I think they knew what they were getting into. They know that I'm an old fat man that doesn't have a lot of endurance. And I have yet to ask them why. Why did they ask me? But I have a lot of thoughts as to why that may be the case. But nonetheless, they did it. And they kept asking. And they kept asking. And eventually I did. I went and ran with them. And I thought, and I still think about this, you know, the reasons why, and that's probably less important than the lesson of tenacity and sticking to something that they believed in and got the old man out running. Thank you. Finally, the last memory I want to talk about is being in the gym. And I'd often run into the 20s more than I've run into any students in the gym. And so I was going to say we'd work out together, but that's really not accurate. But what I saw in the gym is a group of students that care enough about each other that they care about themselves. Sometimes I think we forget about ourselves because we're so focused on caring for others. But it's like flying, the lesson every time I think about when they say, put the oxygen on yourself first, then you can help others. This is a group of students that hey, I'll tell you what, I hated going to the gym when they were in there. And not because I heard them laughing at the same old fat guy, but they never did. They were very respectful, but in my mind, I'm thinking, oh man, I gotta face these strong, healthy, just killing it students. But they'd go in, they had each other's backs, they rooted each other on, they kept each other honest. This is who you are. I like the fact that you're including of others And when you let somebody be part of you, you build a team. And we're all much stronger together than we are apart. And I think you've learned that lesson on many occasions in the academic suffering realm. I think the world of you guys. I see, you know, when you're admitted into the program, we have this idea that you're going to be successful, or we wouldn't have admitted you. And today is proof of that. Congratulations. Finally, I would feel bad if I didn't represent these folks behind me. We have worked for you every day. We wanted nothing but success for you, and that continues. And although we will no longer be your teachers, we will now be your colleagues, and we're proud that we are your colleagues. And please know that we're still here for you. And we appreciate a call or an email telling us what you're doing and how it's going and the successes and failures of your day. So please keep in touch. We're so very proud of you. With that, I will have family and friends please stand for the graduates to have their recessional and enjoy a light reception in the hall with the graduates after they've exited the room. Thank you, everybody.